Hey, my name is Josh, and with Breaker Stereo and Performance, and if you're looking to replace your car stereo, then you're gonna want to stick around for this video. This is Kenwood's DMX9707s. It's a multimedia head unit with a 6.9-inch monitor and offers some of the latest and most popular features, which include Apple Carplay, Android Auto, both wired and wireless, and wired mirroring for iPhone through the USB. There are a bunch of other features, so don't go anywhere as I break this radio down. First, we'll do an unboxing, then we'll go over the connections behind the radio, and then we'll light this thing up and we'll show you how to connect it to your phone wirelessly for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then we'll go over the wiring features for both phones. Towards the end of this video, we'll be going over the pros and cons list, and then we'll give you our overall rating on this radio. And to finish it off, we'll do a section called What's the Difference, in which we'll compare the models below this radio and above this radio in Kenwood's lineup to help you make the decision as to which head unit is best for you. Now, you can get this radio directly from our website. Just click the link in the description below and you'll be sent directly to the product page. Remember, we do have financing available. Apply directly online and get approved instantly. Then we'll send this radio out to you ASAP. Also, you'll receive lifetime live support with any product purchase through our website. So if you have any questions, concerns, or any issues whatsoever, you can give us a call and one of our knowledgeable, experienced team members will help you out. Okay, on to the review. We're going to be going in depth in this video, so we'll list the table of contents in the description below so you can jump around if you're looking for something in particular. Now, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is a premium feature that does not come with every touchscreen out there. Most entry-level units will require you to use a cable to transfer over these features. This, obviously, you won't need that. So if you forget your cable at home or in the office, or one of your teenage kids grabs the cable and doesn't put it back, then you'll be able to still use these features. It also has wireless mirroring for Androids. And when you pair your phone, you'll be able to see whatever's on your phone onto this radio. So this is good for apps like Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube. But of course, you're not going to be running around binge watching. But if you're waiting in your car for any reason, you can stream video on this radio and enjoy watching your video on your dope sound system. But if you don't have a dope sound system, I know a place that can hook you up. This unit will also do mirroring for iPhone, but will require you to use a cable, and you also need to download a Kenwood app, and it's called Kenwood Mirroring, and it looks like this. But we'll go over that a little bit later in this video. FYI, this radio does not have a CD/DVD drive. If you're looking for one of those, Kenwood does make this in the same version, and it's called the DMX9707s. Now, another good feature this has that most entry-level radios do not have is it has idatalink compatible. The reason why this is important is if your stock radio has controls on the displays or displays some settings such as climate controls, oil life, and tire pressure sensors, now that piece will allow you to transfer over those features to this radio. Now, the module is sold separately along with the vehicle-specific harness, and you will need to flash the module in order for everything to work properly. But if you have a lot of those features and you want to keep them, then this is an important feature to have. Okay, moving on. You also have the ability to add as many as 4 cameras to this radio. So you can do a front camera, a rear camera, a dash camera, and either a secondary rear camera or even a side camera. Okay, so we'll go over all those features as we go along, but first let's do an unboxing and then we'll go over the connections behind this radio. All right, so you have your warranty card, your owner's manual. This is the GPS antenna. Now again, it does not come with GPS. It uses that for your navigation apps. You got 2 USBs. The gray is for the iPhone and Apple CarPlay, and the black is for Android Auto. Your main harness, your Bluetooth mic, trim ring, hardware, and then these are keys to release the radio from the cage. So on the back of this radio, we got the 2 USBs, the main plug. You have an AV input, and that does require a separate cable for that. You also have the idatalink input, that's here. This roundest plug is for your Sirius XM tuner box to be plugged into, GPS antenna, Bluetooth mic. Then you have 3 sets of 4-volt preouts, front, rear, and sub. There also is an AV output audio that requires an additional cable, your antenna input. Then you have your cameras. You have your front camera, you have your rear camera, you have your third view camera, and then you also have video out. And then the dash cam plug-in is right here. So there's a Kenwood branded dash cam that will plug directly into here. All right, so when you first turn on the radio, that's what it looks like. I'm gonna start with the iPhone, so we're gonna go ahead and plug in the iPhone real quick. And then as you do that, it takes a second, but it will populate. So there is your CarPlay. If we scroll to the right, then you're able to see all the icons that come up, all the apps that will be able to populate. So if you have Pandora, it will allow you to go to your Pandora profile, and then you go to recents, you can go to stations, and then let's say If you hit this left button here on the bottom, this will take you back to your main menu. And then from here, as you can see, you have all your navigation apps. So you have regular Apple Maps. There is Google Maps here. And then if you use Waze, it has Waze as well. It does have Spotify, it does have Audible. Listen to your books while you are driving around. All right, so that is wired CarPlay, okay? Now, if you do wireless, then you do have to pair this thing up. So let me show you how that's done. So the first thing you want to do is you go, hit the little matrix here, go into setup, and then you're going to go to AV, all right? And then you're going to go to Apple CarPlay list. Okay, and then we're going to add, okay? Now here it says, please open your Bluetooth settings. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go into settings, and then I'm going to go into general, and then I'm going to go into CarPlay, okay? And then from here, you can see DDX9707s. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that here on the bottom, and then as you can see on the screen, it populates, and I'm going to hit yes. And then on the phone, I'm going to hit pair, and then yes, let me go ahead and sync my contacts. And then now if you look on the radio's processing, and when this thing pairs up, then you will see this light up green. And there you go. All right, there it is. All right, so now we're hooked up, CarPlay, and there's no wires. Dope, right? Cool. Okay, so that's that. Now let's go ahead and do the mirroring. So the mirroring does require you to plug in the phone. I'm gonna go home, and then I'm gonna hit the matrix here, and I'm gonna do USB mirroring. Okay, and it's asking me, the current CarPlay connection will be closed. Is that okay? Yes. All right. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is go on the phone, and you have to download this app. It's gonna say mirroring for Kenwood. All right, so that's it. Make sure you have that. And now what you're gonna do is you're going to screen record. So you have to hit screen record here. Now, don't just tap the screen record, you have to actually hold it in for a couple seconds. So a few seconds, and then you'll see it says mirror for Kenwood. And then we're gonna hit start broadcasting. So let's just go to Netflix, check it out. And boom. All right, so there it is. There is mirroring on the iPhone. All right, perfect. All right, let's talk about Android. All right, so what we're gonna do is plug in the Android first. All right, and then from there, we're gonna hit Android Auto on the radio. Okay, all right, so there it is. That pairs up. As you can see, that's Google Maps. We'll go through a couple features on Android Auto. So let's start with the home page. So you hit the button on the lower left hand, and then you have all your apps that will populate that you're able to use. So you have your maps, you have Spotify, music, your phone, calendar, news, podcasts, and then if you scroll upward, then there are a few more here. All right, so let's just kind of go into a few of these. Let's start with Spotify. So from here, you're able to control your Spotify, and you have what's in the queue, and then you're able to search if you like. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. Now let's go over to Google Maps. So tap that there, and then from here, you're able to either type in where you want to go, and then from there you can type where you want to go, or if you want to make it easy on yourself while you're driving around, you can usually just go hit the button here, and that will activate the microphone, and from there you can say where you want to go or whatever destination that you're looking for. Okay, cool. All right, so that is that. So that's wired Android Auto. Let's do wireless. So let's go ahead and unplug this here. So I'm just gonna hit Android Auto here. Let's unplug Android Auto, and then boom. So we're good to go. Android Auto is good. No wires plugged into it, so we're awesome there. All right, cool. So let's do the mirroring, the wireless mirroring. So the first thing you want to do is hit wireless mirroring on the stereo, and then you have to go to the phone. All right, so let's go into the menu. And what we're looking for is something that's gonna say Smart View or mirroring or something like that. Right here it says Smart View. View your phone screen or play content on a TV, speaker, or Chromecast device. Oh, yes. Hit start now. Boom, there you go. So that's wireless Android Auto. Let's just try something. So we'll go to YouTube and play something. All right, so we'll just play anything here at this point. And hit play, and then change the aspect, and there it is. So let's get into some of the other features on this radio. Let's hit the matrix on the left-hand corner. We've already went through some of these features here, but as you can see, this gives you all your sources, okay? And if you scroll to the right, you have more to choose from. Now this has your audio standby, and then as you can see, there's icons that are not lit up, and those are reserved for the idatalink Maestro piece. So obviously, if you program your idatalink Maestro piece and you have climate controls or parking assist that came up on the factory radio, it will now populate on this radio. Okay, so on your source page, as you can see, everything populates here. You have the wireless mirroring, USB mirroring, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, CD/DVD, iPod, USB, AV input. That's important if you wanted to do an overhead monitor for the kids in the back. You're able to mirror what's on the back monitor up to the screen. Then you have your radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, telephone. All right, so let's go to audio. So when you hit audio, this is what you get for the setup. And right now we're selected at front speakers. And then if you tap that, then you're able to select the size speakers you have in your vehicle. Then you can do it to the rears as well. And then you could also pick the size subwoofer that you have. And then here is crossover. And then you want to select here on the top, front, so that's your front crossover. Right now it's set to through, and you can select anywhere from 30 hertz all the way up to 250. And then you can also pick the slope up to 24, as low as 6. And then if you do your rear, same thing, same frequency, same slope, subwoofer, as low as 30, as high as 250. Or you can just choose to run through, and then if you have external amplifiers, then you would just use the crossovers on the app. And then you have your equalizer. So you have a 13-band equalizer. You can adjust this in a couple different ways. If you touch the band you want to adjust, and then hit the up and down to adjust it. So on your EQ, if you're not familiar, the more right you go are the higher frequencies, so you can see 16K, and then the more left you go is going to be your bass, 62, 100, 160, and then also for adjustment, you can just run your finger across it. Then you also have the bass EXT on here as well, and then a subwoofer controlling up to 10, and I think this thing goes down pretty far negative, like negative 40 or something like that. All right. And then of course you have your balance to fade, and then your volume offset. So this gives you the ability to choose the volume for each source. And the reason why this would be important is, let's say for instance, your Bluetooth plays lower than the radio or plays lower than the CD. Then you're able to go in here and adjust this higher so that when you switch sources, it's more even. Okay. Then you have zone control. So zone control is a pretty cool feature. Right now it's set to single. You can set it to dual. Now if you do dual, you can have the speakers in the front play something different than the speakers in the rear. Now, where this would be useful is if you had that video system we talked about and the kids want to watch a movie and they don't want to put headphones on, then you can go audio video in, and then that will play the DVD that's playing on in the back. And in the front, you can choose your radio or your XM or your Bluetooth or your iPod, or if you want to play everything AV in as well, so to play on all 4 speakers. So that's really cool. All right, so that's that. Now let's go into some of the setup features. So I'm gonna hit the sprocket here, and then I'll go to display, okay? From here we can choose the key color. So if you wanna match whatever dash lights, green, switch to the green. If they're like a light blue or aqua, switch it to that color. Go back. You could also switch the wallpaper. So there's a couple presets here. Carbon fiber, like a brush look, space, so we'll just leave it at carbon fiber. Okay, and then you have the camera. The camera settings will allow you to basically go in here and you can set up guidelines for your backup camera, turn them on or off. You want to do the interruption, and then you can also assign cameras as well, because you do have those 4 camera inputs that we talked about. All right. And then special. All right, it always defaults at demo, so you probably want to turn the demo off. And then from here, you can check the software information. Now that's important if you wanted to update your software. Now to update the software, you do have to go to Kenwood's website, and you're able to update the software there. And then you can also check versions to make sure you have the latest version. Another thing too, just as a tip, if the radio gets a little glitchy, check the software to see if you got the latest version. All right, so let's go back. Radio, pretty straightforward. Tune here, presets are here, so if you like a station, hold the button down for a couple seconds, that'll lock that in. All right, there it is. Okay, this is a great radio, has lots of features, and it's pretty easy to use. It's an excellent value, coming in at $599, which is in line for most wireless head units. Okay, now on to what's the difference above and below. Now above this unit is the Exelon DDX9707s. On this unit, you get 5-volt pre-out instead of 4-volt pre-out, a higher pixel count, 1280 by 720 versus 820 by 480, high-res audio, both wired and wireless, and this unit goes for $799 versus $599. So below this radio is the DMX9707s. The difference is you only get a 6.75-inch monitor versus a 6.95-inch monitor. Single backup camera input. You only get 5-channel 2-volt preouts versus 6-channel 4-volt preouts. No high-res audio. No idatalink Maestro capabilities. No wireless mirroring for iPhone. No wireless Carplay for Android Auto or Android mirroring. So you lose a lot, but this radio is priced at $299 versus $599. Okay, on to pros and cons. Pros, 3 sets of 4-volt preouts. This is great when adding amplifiers. Multi-camera inputs for adding front and side cameras. And of course, the wireless features. Okay, cons. Not many here besides the extra steps you need to do when doing iPhone mirroring. So overall, we give this radio a 4.5-star rating based on pricing, functionality, and ease of use. Now, if you would like one of these radios, just click the link in the description below and that'll take you directly to the product page. Easy financing is available. Just apply online and get approved instantly. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.